It's Yasmin Boland here, ready to take you through a new moon ceremony. This time it's for the new moon in the sign of Libra. The chant I just did was to the Hindu elephant god Ganesha, who I'm especially fond of and attached to. And amongst other things, Ganesha is really good for new starts, okay? And so obviously every new moon is a new start. So I always ask Ganesha to be with me at anything new, and that includes at the new moon every month. I'm just putting a couple of drops of, actually this is called Balance. It's a doTERRA oil if you use doTERRA. And Balance is perfect for this new moon because guess what? It's the new moon in Libra. So if you have any essential oil anywhere near you, just drop a couple of drops on your palms and rub them together and then just breathe. Just raises your vibration. It's so amazing. But you must use a good oil. So I'm going to start off with a very quick gratitude meditation. Then we're going to be talking about the new moon in Libra, what it means, about the special reason it's a special new moon this month. We're going to be doing some intention setting. I will also be doing a new moon card reading for everybody who's watching, and whatever else I can fit into half an hour. Now, why a gratitude meditation? Well, because gratitude puts us actually in the state where we can start to manifest, and that's what we do at the new moon. We work on manifesting our desires, okay? And I'm feeling very grateful at the moment, so I hope you are too. So close your eyes and start to become aware of the rise and fall of your breath. And now, to put you in a state of gratitude, myself in a state of gratitude, I'm going to ask you to please bring to mind someone or something you are truly grateful for. Think of one thing or one person. Now put your hands over your heart chakra and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, that raises the vibrations, and we need to raise our vibrations in order to manifest. So let's talk about this new moon, which is in the sign of Libra. If you are Libran, of course, it has special significance for you, but the fact is we all have Libra and all 12 signs somewhere in our chart. Now, if you happen to have my diary, my Moonology diary, then you can refer to, it's right here, the new moon in Libra, and you can see exactly where the new moon is for you, and you can read about it later. But just to really run through it very briefly, this is where the new moon is taking place for each of us, okay? Listen to your rising sign if you know it. So for Aries and Aries rising, it's a new start in your most important one-to-one relationships. For Taurus and Taurus rising, it's a chance to get back on the good health, well-being wagon. For Gemini and Gemini rising, it's a new start whereby you should be having more fun. For Moonchild, Cancerian people, it's actually a new start for you with home and family matters. For Leo and Leo rising, it's actually going to change the way you think, okay? And that can change your life. So think about how you want to change the way you're thinking. For Virgo and Virgo rising, it's taking place in your second house, which is cash, property and possessions. So there's a new start coming, and I'll tell you in a minute why it's such good news for all of us, but that's especially good for you, Virgo. Libra and Libra rising, of course, it's taking place in your sign, which means your whole life is up for renewal. So whatever's been going on, this is a restart. For Scorpio with Scorpio rising, it's taking place in your 12th house. So it's a really good time for you to start all over again when it comes to your spirituality, okay? For Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, it's a new start for you when it comes to your friendships, and also one of the most important times of the year to make a wish. So take a look on my website, moonology.com, click on extras and then select moon times, and there's a link there where you'll find the time for anywhere in the whole wide world, so you know exactly when to make your wishes. Make them just after the new moon. For Capricorn and Capricorn rising, it's actually taking place in your 10th house of career, so a new start for you professionally. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, it's in your 9th house, so it's all about a restart for you when it comes to adventure, travel, study, and also if you're on the great cosmic quest, okay? The great cosmic quest to understand life, to expand your philosophies. And finally, for Pisces, it's taking place in your 8th house, which is sex and money. So if you would like to, if you want a new start when it comes to sex and money, this is the new moon for you. And again, for everybody, to find out the exact time, I'll put a link below, but to find out the exact time, go to Moonology, go to Extras, Moon Times, and then you'll find this new moon in Libra, and you'll find a link there to tell you anywhere in the whole wide world what time the new moon's taking place, and well, any major city, I should say. And what you want to do is you want to make your new moon wishes just after that, but more about that in a minute. First of all, I just want to talk about why this new moon is particularly special, okay? So the thing is that there have been some tough times this week. There's been, I think, Venus clashing with Pluto, amongst other things. Saturn's been squared by 1 or 2 planets. It's been a little bit rough, but now at the weekend, we are getting the good stuff, okay? So not only do we have this new moon in Libra, which is a really great time to restart anything to do with your relationships, okay? Any relationships, personal or professional. Make your wishes about relationships this month. We'll do that again in a minute as well. But also, it's very much influenced by the fact that Venus, the planet of love and abundance, is making a sextile, that's a harmonious angle to Jupiter just after the new moon. So that is great for anything to do with love, money, abundance, relationships, relating, beauty, femininity, travel, study, adventure. There's so much kind of good juju with the Venus sextile Jupiter just after the new moon. So if you don't always work with the new moon, it's great you're watching this, because in a minute I'll be showing you how to make your intentions and set your intentions and make wishes. And we're actually going to make one together, which I'm then going to put in a crystal grid, which I'm going to do at the very end of this Facebook Live. So that is basically about the basics about this new moon. Now, what I would really encourage you to do, if you would like to work with the energies of the new moon in depth, is take a look at this worksheet, which is free. I'll put the link below as well, but basically it's a worksheet which will take you through all the questions that it's a really good idea to answer at the time of the Libra new moon, okay? So every new moon has a different flavor, and if you do a little kind of inventory on yourself every month, by the time you've done it for 12 months, you will have taken inventory on your whole life, and you will be living far more consciously and intentionally. So this is available for download, and I encourage you to print it out and do it later. It can be really nice to do it with friends as well, just all get together and do some new moon intention setting and answer these questions. It will just work really well, and it will really help you to get the most out of the Libra new moon, which is here to help us all, okay? That's the thing, it's here to help us all. But one of the main things I love to do at the time of the new moon is manifest, okay? I'm big on manifesting. I've just had an amazing manifestation work for me. I'm not going to go into it here, but I'll tell you, yes, it's to do with the house. And I'm going to talk all about it next week on my Hay House radio show, which is on Tuesdays. It's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. London time, and it's actually on Wednesday at about 1 a.m. in Sydney, but you can hear the rebroadcast the next day on hayhouseradio.com. So yes, I'm very happy with my manifesting right now, and now I'd like to help you, if you've never done new moon wishes before, or even if you have, quick run through. So basically women, especially wild woke women as they call them, or magical women especially, and some enlightened men, have been making wishes or casting spells or setting intentions at the time of the new moon for millennia. And as I always say, we did it until they started to burn us live at the stake, hang us and drown us. Well, hopefully they can't do that anymore. They can't burn us anymore for doing this sort of stuff. But I'm telling you, if you start to make wishes at the time of the new moon, you are going to discover you have powers that you never even knew you had. So all you need to do this with me today is a sheet of paper about that size, okay? So it doesn't matter. I would strongly recommend, of course, if you have my diary, the Moonology diary, then of course there is a section where you can write out your new moon wishes and intentions, and I'm going to do that separately in my own time, and I strongly recommend you do too, because it makes a massive difference, because you basically set your intentions. You know, it's like you put things into what they call a vibrational escrow. You start the process. But for today, what we're going to do is we're just going to write one wish here, okay? One wish here. So grab a pen, grab your paper, and let's go. Just do it now, okay? I'm going to do mine right now. Okay, secret squirrel. Close it up and just set it aside for a moment, okay? Put it down. Okay, so now what I want you to do, actually, let's not set it down. Let's keep it in our hands. Keeping it in your hands, sending it love, and now I want you to visualize it. Feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to quote Wayne Dyer and Neville Goddard. Imagine it. Just bring it to mind. Oh, it'll be so good. Oh, it'll be so amazing. Just feel the feeling of how happy you would be, how happy you will be when this wish materializes. Oh, thank you, universe. Thank you. I'm so happy about this. Thank you. Thank you. And just keep imagining it for a little bit longer. Oh, yes. What a great wish. Oh, it's so good. I'm so happy that my wish has come true. It's amazing. Oh, it's so good. Feel it in your body. Feel it with all your heart, okay? And that's how you make a wish, okay? So now you can put it down. And now what I'm going to suggest is we're going to do a quick card reading, a 3-card card reading with my beautiful Moonology cards. If you don't know them, this is them. They're just gorgeous. Okay, so this is going to be information for all of us about what we need to do to make our new moon wish come true. I'm going to choose 3 cards. So, what is rising up in me to do with this wish? The main message of the new moon, and the final outcome. All right, set them aside. So, which way did they go? Like that? Ooh. Ah, beautiful. Can you see them? They're so beautiful. So the first one is a personal issue reaches resolution. Okay, so whatever you're inquiring about, if it's a personal issue, resolution is coming. Okay, remember this relates to our new moon intention or wish. Now this is an interesting one. The main message of the moon, communication is key. So whatever you're doing, keep the lines of communication open. Okay, and if you're trying to help someone with something, make sure you keep talking to them. And then the last one, honestly one of my favorite cards in the whole deck, you and your loved ones are safe. So in particular, if you're wishing for something for someone in your family, it's an amazing affirmation that your wish is manifesting. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside because I'll take a picture of them for later, because I like to be able to have a record of what I've been wishing and what has come true for me. I've got a little book, I don't have it right here, but I write it all down in the book because it's so easy just to use the cards and then just, forget about them. But then if you write them down, you can, sometimes they're like this, they're really positive, and sometimes they've got a really strong bit of advice for you that you kind of have to listen to. And then if you write it down, you're not going to forget it. Okay, now, in a second I'm going to do the crystal grid, but I just wanted to take 1 second to tell you about something very exciting. I finally have a copy of my new book, which is called The Mercury Retrograde Book, and I've created a whole set of pre-order bonuses. So if you buy the book before it's published on October 31, you'll get some great bonuses. I hope you'll agree. I think the most exciting one that I'll mention here is the fact that I've made a little video, kind of like this one I'm making right now, but it's how to tell where Mercury is retrograde in your chart forever. Okay, it's only 15 minutes long, and I've used various PDFs and resources for you, and a video, an explainer video, so you can start to work with Mercury retrograde in your chart and actually know, it's in my travel zone, or it's in my love zone, or it's in my money zone, and to start to understand, how to work that out, and also what it means. Okay, so this book comes out October 31. It will also explain a lot to you about that as well, but I wanted to make the video as well as a bonus for anybody who buys the book before October 31. It's something I think people have really been wanting, but I've written it. I've written it with Kim Farnell, who's a UK author and astrologer, amazing astrologer, and I'm very, very happy with it. Hope you can see it's hardback, and there it is. Okay, so let us now do the last section of today's session. So get your wish and put it there in the middle of something if you're going to be doing the crystal grid. If you're not doing the crystal grid with me, then what I'm going to say is put your wish on something in front of you and put your hand in, like one hand down on it and one hand up, and then just absorb the vibes through your hand, the good vibes through your hand, coming through to your wish as we do the crystal grid, because you will still get the energies if that's your intention. Okay, so what we do is we start with the crystal generator, okay, which is always the thing in the middle. It's basically like the engine of the crystal grid. If you haven't done a grid before, these are amazing. If you bought my crystal kit this month and you didn't have a generator, that's where the bonus crystal tumblestone we sent you goes. So we've got the generator in the middle, and now it's time to go through the beautiful crystals, okay? Which, as always, I've put this list together with the help of the beautiful Rebecca De Bono, who's a crystal healing expert and a friend of mine. So she's helped me with that. So let's go. So the first one is pyrite. And that is because it helps us to be strong and bold and courageous, which is what we need when we're relating to people. Okay, the next one up is blue kyanite. Now this is the new moon in Libra, which is about relationships, and kyanite, amongst other things, inspires loyalty. Okay, Next up we have turquoise, which is really great for communication, which is essential to all good relationships. And you know, if you wear turquoise in a necklace or something, it works really, really well. Also very good for negotiations, and Libra is all about negotiations. Next up, okay, then we have the next one is carnelian. Okay, carnelian, beautiful stone. If you've got my kit, they're quite small, the carnelians I was able to get. And this is very good for imagination, courage, and self-confidence. And of course, self-confidence will always help us in our relationships, because the more confident we are, not too confident, but the more quietly confident we are, the more people are going to trust us and be happy to know us, because they're going to know, well, if I trust me, then, you know, I must be okay. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? And then finally, we have the pink mangano calcite, which actually helps to heal emotional traumas. Now, the new moon in Libra is very special because it's about, it's associated with the planet Venus, which is the planet of the heart and the planet of love. And as I said, Venus is actually connecting to Jupiter just after the new moon. So it's a very potentially healing time for people if you've been through a rough time. So we've got the intention under there. All right, so now I'm going to send out the intention that this grid that I've made here connects with every other grid that everybody around the world is making of the same vibration or higher, and that everybody watching this shares in the benefits. Okay, and now we're going to connect the grid. Here we go. I'm using my beautiful wand, but you can actually just use your finger as well. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do a chant to Durga, because Durga is the goddess of the new moon. Om Durgaye Namaha. Om Durgaye Namaha. Om Durgaye Namaha. There we go. Okay. So that pretty much concludes the new moon session for this month. Remember to fill out your worksheet. It will really help you get the most out of the new moon. And remember to write down your top 10 wishes in the space provided if you have my Moonology diary. And if you don't, you can just use an exercise or an exercise book or a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. But keep them somewhere you'll find them later, because the amazing thing when you start to do new moon intentions and wishes is you'll start to see, oh, they actually come true. All right. From my heart to yours, in London, England, to wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you lots and lots of love and all the best for this very special new moon in Libra with its associated Venus-Jupiter alignment. Lots of love.